President Bola Tinubu has commissioned multiple projects executed by the Kogi State Governor Alhaji Ahmed Ododo as part of the governor's one-year anniversary. The president, who was represented by the Vice President Kashim Shettima, arrived the state in the company of APC National Chairman Dr. Umar Ganduje and Edo State Governor Monday Okpebolo through Dangote Airstrip, Obajana, to a rousing welcome. They were gladly received by Governor Ododo, his deputy Joel Oyibo, former governors Yaya Bello and Idris Wada, commissioners and other government officials. Ododo led the vice president and his delegation to the area around Lokoja local government area, where 3 road projects were commissioned to the admiration of the crowd. Addressing the president's delegation, the governor said the projects executed demonstrated his desire to improve the well-being of the people of Kogi State. He said that the projects scattered across the 3 senatorial districts of the state were part of campaign promises to the people who elected him into office to serve them as their chief servants. He thanked his predecessor for laying a solid foundation upon which he could consolidate the growth and development of the state. Vice President Kashim Shettima has assured Nigerians that despite the current economic and social challenges, the country will soon begin to experience the benefits of the necessary difficulties being faced. Shettima gave this assurance in Abuja while delivering a goodwill message at a 2-day national conference themed Strengthening Nigeria's Democracy, Pathway to Good Governance and Political Integrity. The conference is organized by the African Center for Leadership, Strategy and Development, Center for Democracy and Development, Westminster Foundation for Democracy, Peering Advocacy and Advancement Center in Africa, and the National Peace Committee, represented by his Special Advisor on Political Matters, Hakim Baba Ahmed. The Vice President acknowledged widespread concerns about government policies, but emphasized that the challenges being faced are necessary steps towards long-term national progress, appealing to Nigerians to support President Bola Tinubu's administration in this challenging time, maintaining that government will continue to seek to provide evidence of the values of democratic systems by, among others, fixing major weaknesses of the economy, securing the communities, fighting corruption, supporting free and fair elections, strengthening the independence of the judiciary, and improving national cohesion. In his keynote address, former Vice President of Ghana, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, said there was a need to ensure that democracy delivers inclusive opportunities. The President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, has reaffirmed Nigeria's readiness to collaborate with Switzerland to drive innovation, diversify the economy, and create lasting opportunities for future generations. Akpabio highlighted Nigeria's position as Africa's largest economy and a member of the African Continental Free Trade Area, emphasizing the country's willingness to engage with the European Free Trade Association beyond traditional trade partnerships. Speaking in Abuja during a courtesy visit by the chairman and members of the Swiss EFTA delegation to the National Assembly, Akpabio said Nigeria envisions partnerships that will ignite innovation, diversify the economy, and create opportunities for generations to come. He recalled the 2017 agreement in which Switzerland returned $321 million in recovered funds to Nigeria, describing it as a historic act that strengthened trust and set a global standard for accountability and justice. Akpabio also highlighted Nigeria's ongoing economic reforms under President Bola Tinubu, including the removal of fuel subsidies and the unification of the Naira exchange rate. The leader of the delegation and a member of Switzerland's House of Representatives expressed optimism about strengthening economic ties with Nigeria. He noted that while EFTA has yet to formalize trade negotiations with Nigeria, the visit aims to lay the groundwork for future collaboration. The pilot food market, which is conceived by the Ogun State government to bypass middlemen and crash high costs of food items, is nearing completion in Ashiro, Abeokuta. Fowora Adeson reports that the State Deputy Governor, Engineer Noimot Salako Oyedele, expressed satisfaction on the standard of facilities in the complex and level of work done so far. His reports.
Gari frying section, fish markets, slabs for butchers, poultry, fish smoking section, warehouse, banking hall, and conveniences, as well as 40 lock-up shops and 200 open stores in the pilot food market in Ashiro, Abeokuta, that would soon be replicated across the state. The idea is based on the outcome of various interactions between the stakeholders, market men and women, and consumers on how to deal with the prevailing high cost of food items.
We're going to put in adequate drainage to make sure that the access is unimpeded throughout the year, and the infrastructure and landscaping around this place is all going to be taken care of. So we're about 6 weeks into this project, and I'm very pleased with the progress of the work. I want to commend the contractor for a job well done, and also the Honorable Commissioner, the PAMSEC, and the directors in charge for supervising this work.
Ogun State Deputy Governor Engineer Noimot Salako Oyedele commended the leadership of the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security for a job well supervised. The Commissioner for Agriculture and Food Security, Ogun State, Mr. Bolu Owotomo, spelled out the opportunities which the project has for the people of the state.
The opportunity this Ashiro Farmers Market will provide for our farmers is that to give an avenue for them to be able to sell their produce, you know, and definitely this will be in line with the objective of Mr. Kwabiodun, our executive governor, to ensure that price of food items come down in the market. As you can see, the project is about 85% completed. They're only just fixing doors, landscaping, and labeling activities and drainage activities that is ongoing. And the contractor has assured us that in the next 2 weeks or thereabout, this place will be handed over.
Women who has been occupying this space where the project is sited have been assured of slots in the food market on completion. Adefowora Adesanwo, OGTV News.
The Ogun State Economic Transformation Project, OGTEP, continues to make significant strides in infrastructure development. One of its flagship projects at the Government Science and Technical College in Ajegunle, located in Iwekuru local government area of the state, is emerging as a key initiative in transforming technical education in the state. Inyoluwa Adeniyi reports on how this strategic intervention is not just about constructing infrastructure, but also reshaping local economic opportunities and redefining technical education across the state.
The Ogun State Economic Transformation Project, funded by the World Bank, is a development initiative aimed at improving the state's economy by upgrading technical education, skills development, and procurement efficiency. One of the highlights of this transformative effort is the Government Science and Technical College at Ajegunle, which is undergoing a major rehabilitation as part of OGTEP's commitment to redefining the educational sector in Ogun State.
Like the project's name states, is Ogun State Economic Transformation Project, and one of the fundamentals, one of the pillars of this project is the skills sector, and this is where this falls into. So the whole idea is that you cannot have economic transformation without talking about the education sector, especially skill acquisition.
As one of 8 technical colleges being revamped across the state, The Ajegunle project was launched in October 2024 and is expected to be completed in April 2025.
This project is happening in 8 technical colleges in Ogun State. Duration is 6 months. The project started precisely October 18th. So the completion end date is April 17th, 2025.
According to the project manager, this initiative is not just an investment in education, but a significant effort to reshape local economic opportunities and empower the youth with market-ready technical skills.
We are confident that the students will learn under a very good environment, and their children will be well skilled, for industrial opportunities that are available.
Remarks were made by various stakeholders present at the site, emphasizing the importance of the project to regional development.
The contractor has already agreed to make one block of classroom ready by Tuesday. That's way ahead of the April 17 deadline. So we are confident that this project will be delivered on time and at the right quality.
I have nothing to say than to thank them, giving them the kudos, even more than 100, because the school has been 44 years ago here. I think we are very, very much appreciative.
As OG Steps advances, this initiative promises to serve as a model for purposeful development, demonstrating how technical education can act as a catalyst for economic empowerment and long-term prosperity. Iyoluwa Adeniyi, OGTV News.
In a bid to attract more students to technical education and equip them with skills to compete globally, the Ogun State government has rehabilitated 8 technical colleges across the state to boost industrial skill development. Tony Ogundipe's report is presented in this package.
To enhance the technical education sector, the Ogun State government has embarked on the rehabilitation of 8 technical colleges, upgrading them to meet international standards. The Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Professor Abayomi Arigbabu, stated that the ongoing rehabilitation would significantly improve student learning experiences and equip them with practical industrial skills.
The intention is to remodel the curriculum in such a way that about 70% of their time is even spent in the industry, while we have just 30% in the classroom. So they are able to manage, because it's a technical, very, very hands-on sort of training. After the constructions, you will now see the supply of modern-day equipment.
According to stakeholders, strict rules and regulations have been established to ensure proper maintenance of the renovated structures and equipment.
With all this, I've been trying all my best, even before the renovation, to make sure that the sanitary is put in place here in this college since I came. And I will put more effort to make sure that no student, even our staff, destroy government property.
Really appreciate the effort of the state government in at least giving us a new structure, which is giving the college a new shape, and it's gradually turning into a model college. The maintenance, yes, we've been educating the students at least in terms of comportment, in terms of everything, and they are promising to live up to expectations.
A student who was awarded scholarship expressed gratitude to the Ogun State government and promised to maximize the use of the newly upgraded facilities.
Thank the government for the construction of our school and for giving me scholarship. We need to abide the school rules and regulations to make adequate use of the school.
Meanwhile, Professor Abayomi Arigbabu urged parents to encourage their children to pursue technical education, emphasizing its importance in driving economic development.
And still ahead, Nigeria seeks China's collaboration for drone production. More news and reports after the break.
Let me ask you a question. What's holding you back? Is it the pressure of your job? the demands of your education, or your ability to connect with the world? Is it access to the right information? Are you lost? Is it your location, or where you live, or how far you are away from the opportunities? Maybe it's your language, your culture, or your traditions. Again, I ask you, what's holding you back?
Unlimited data from Airtel 5G Smart Connect. Whoever, wherever you are, stay connected. Stay limitless. Airtel, a reason to imagine.
What if upgrading your TV doesn't mean buying a new one? Unbelievable, right? But with the new Airtel Smart Router, you can now watch YouTube on any TV and also get unlimited data for 30 days to stream thrilling Nollywood movies, catch up on football highlights, and keep your kids engaged with edutainment all on YouTube. With the Airtel Smart Router, everyone gets what they love. Get the Smart Router plus unlimited data for 25,000 Naira. Visit the nearest Airtel shop to get yours. Airtel, a reason to imagine.
You're still watching the OGTV News. The chairman of the Southern Governors Forum and Governor of Ogun State, Prince Dakpo Abiodun, has commiserated with the Oyo State Governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, over the loss of his elder brother, Engineer Sunday Makinde, who died on Friday, January 24, at the age of 65. In a statement in Abeokuta, Ogun State Governor Abiodun said the forum was saddened to learn of the sudden death of the deceased, adding that the loss of a sibling is always a painful development that is difficult to bear. He, however, urged the Oyo State Governor to take courage from his Christian faith, which teaches that the love of God supersedes the love for family and loved ones, and that the will of God is sovereign. He added that though the deceased did not live to a ripe old age, solace must be taken in the fact that he lived a distinguished and impactful life. He urged Governor Makinde to take this sad incident as an act of God and to take solace in the impactful life that the deceased lived and the fact that God blessed them with children and grandchildren who will carry on in his stead. The federal government of Nigeria is actively working to enhance its domestic drone technology capabilities and has engaged representatives of Long Uva, a China-based global leader in tactical drone solutions. The Director General of the Nigeria-China Strategic Partnership, Dr. Joseph Tegbe, who led the Nigerian delegation, said their collaboration with Long Uva aims to strengthen Nigeria's capabilities in drone technology and explore broader opportunities for cooperation. Tegbe noted that the cooperation with the company is expected to bolster Nigeria's domestic capabilities in drone technology, facilitating access to essential services and commodities in remote or hard-to-reach regions. He further emphasized that the partnership will support not only economic growth and development, but also position Nigeria as a key player in Africa's industrialization. Tegbe also mentioned plans to renovate and upgrade equipment in selected teaching hospitals across Nigeria. The Ogun State Council of the Nigeria Union of Journalists, NUJ, has honored the Commissioner for Forestry, Honorable Oludotun Taiwo, as the Best Commissioner of the Year 2024. This recognition is an appreciation of his remarkable contributions to the development of the Council and the welfare of its members. The award was presented by the Chairman of the Council, Comrade Wale Olariwaju, who described Honorable Oludotun as one of the most outstanding commissioners in the administration of Prince Dakpo Abiodun.
So seeing one person like you coming around to help us, that all Environment Commissioner, let it be on record, was given to us by Chief Ademodushe Kochoba when he was governor. In 2002, he gave us that honor. And 22 years after, you added value to it. So on behalf of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, Executive Council, our members and leaders of our council, we want to sincerely thank you. We want to appreciate you for what you have done to us, what you have represented in our council.
While receiving the award, Engineer Oludotun Taiwo expressed his gratitude to NUJ for the recognition. He dedicated the award to the Governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun, for giving him the opportunity to serve.
And that we're going to achieve is through the help and the support of the Governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun. He has been supporting this ministry in all ramifications, and he also has his own way of assessing all the commissioners. But so far so good. We have changed the narrative of this ministry. I can tell you, before this administration, the issue of reforestation of our forests in Ogun State has been in the dump. But since the coming of this administration, we've been able to plant well over 30 million trees.
Accompanying the chairman during the presentation were other members of the council's executive, including the secretary, Comrade Bumi Adigun, Assistant Secretary Tony Oyelumade, Treasurer Idris Adelakun and Sahid Adiola, alongside selected industrial trainees under the council. Honorable Oludotun Taiwo is currently serving his second term as the Commissioner for Forestry in the Prince Dapo Abiodun-led administration. Alumni and students of Methodist High School, Arigbajo, marked their 60th Founders Day celebration with a Thanksgiving service and a reunion party at the school premises. The event was themed 6 Decades of Excellence, celebrating our legacy. Olaide Oloye, who covered the event, reports that donations were made to the school and awards were presented to the 7 alumni of the prestigious institution.
Methodist High School, Arigbajo, established in 1965, holds the distinction of being the first full-fledged secondary school in the Edda-Ifo District Council, now comprising Ifo and Ewekoro local government in Ogun State. Celebrating 6 decades of producing exceptional leaders, the alumni and students commenced the event with a Thanksgiving service to appreciate God's faithfulness. Chairman of the anniversary committee, Benga Akifenwa, encouraged members to uphold the values and integrity instilled in them by the school.
There are so many things that we need to do as an association, looking at the discipline in schools, the issue of infrastructure and other things. I think this is a time for us to come together, and that's what we are doing to brainstorm.
The national president of Methodist High School, Arigbajo Old Student Association, Olasukomi Oyegbami, in his keynote address, urged fellow alumni to remain steadfast in their commitment to providing the school with modern and conducive educational facilities.
Extremely happy. It's a great day. I'm very, very happy, and I believe this is God doing. I've given a lot. We have spent up to 30 million to this school, and we are still spending. Currently, we are building e-libraries by one of our sets, 94.
The Commissioner for Environment, Ola Oresonya, who attended the ceremony, admonished the alumni to stay true to the school's core values of academic excellence, spiritual growth, and service to others.
The school will create an awareness for you what is the physical needs and what will be the academic needs for the school, and also emotional needs of the teachers, all right, and the pupils. That's the essence of having an old student association that is very effective and functional.
During goodwill messages, alumni reflected on the rich history of the school, its transformative impact on their lives, and its bright future.
I'm overwhelmed for seeing the 60th anniversary coming to fruition. You cannot leave everything to government's hands. They cannot do it alone. We as students that passed through the school, we were contributing.
To God be the glory. We were also here. We left 50 years ago, and for us to be alive today is a kind of news, a kind of good news.
Really excited, because when we came here in 1965, we were young, 14, 15 years old in the school. Now the school is 60. Most of my classmates are gone.
The 60th anniversary celebration featured the presentation of awards to outstanding alumni and winners of the quiz competition. Olaide Oloye, OGTV News.
The lay president of the Methodist Church Nigeria, Diocese of Remo Central, Justice Olugboyega Ogunfowora, has been formally installed as the state president of the Boys Brigade Nigeria, Ogun State Council. At the investiture ceremony held at Wesley Methodist Cathedral, Iperu, Remo, Ogun State, the Archbishop of the Archdiocese of Remo, Ijebu, Yewa, and Egba, Archbishop Adegbemi Adewale, tasked the newly elected president and other office bearers to uphold the founding principles of the Boys Brigade through purpose-driven leadership. Margaret Okunola reports that the event also saw the installation of other office bearers, including the state secretary, organizer, and state patrons. A report.
It was a significant day for the Ogun State Boys Brigade as the mantle of leadership changed hands. The National Secretary Organizer, Dr. Malgui, formally installed Justice Olugboyega Ogunfowora as the new state president of the brigade. During the investiture ceremony, in a sermon, Archbishop Adegbemi Adewale urged the newly elected leaders to remain committed to the vision of the brigade's founder, Sir William Alexander Smith, by fostering a safe, supportive, and inclusive environment for young people in the house of God.
You will be a role model to many of these young people, and your example will shape their understanding of what it means to be a follower of Christ. Putting your best to raise the banner of the Boys Brigade in Ogun State.
Other office bearers, including the state secretary organizer and state patrons, were also installed, decorated, and presented with certificates. The ceremony drew attendance from family members, colleagues, associates, leaders, and representatives of the Boys Brigade from across Nigeria, who spoke on the responsibilities of the brigade and the expectations for the newly elected officials.
Carry the advancement of Christ's kingdom, the cause of advancing Christ's kingdom, to develop the boys for skilled leadership.
All of them are good officers of the Boys Brigade before now, and they know the ethics of the Boys Brigade. We will only pray for them.
His integrity has never been down. He is a model. He's going to be a good ambassador of Boys Brigade in Nigeria.
The best. He's a performer. He's very active, so he will perform.
The Boys Brigade cannot do without us, and we cannot also do without them. So we are ready to partner with them.
I have to support him in every way, encourage him, pray for him.
Now entrusted with the mantle of leadership, the new office holders of the Ogun State Boys Brigade pledged their commitment to the brigade's vision and mission.
So ready, so prepared.
Instead of having 1,000 children as a battalion, now we have for the whole state. So it's a big responsibility, and I hope that God will give me the strength.
Speaking at the event, the new state president, Sir Olugboyega Ogunfowora, expressed his readiness for the task ahead.
To upgrade and upscale
our infrastructure, the building that the past executive just built, then try and buy more instruments for our band so that it becomes more robust. United, we must stand if we must progress.
The newly elected officials will serve a tenure of 3 years. As part of the investiture ceremony, a parade was held by members of the Ogun State Boys Brigade, during which the state's president, Justice Olugboyega Ogunfowora, inspected the parade. Margaret Okunlola, OGTV News.
Members of the Elegant Ladies Elite Club International have been admonished to embrace unity and live above board in all their dealings. This charge was given by the president and founder, Chief Mrs. Aderonke Olowoporoku Iyola, at the Thanksgiving and launch of the club constitution held at the Adire Mall, Alaki Palace in Abeokuta. Mrs. Olowoporoku Iyola, represented by Prince Adewale Osho-Shodeke, noted that the club, which started with about 12 members in Agbara as Chapter 1, now has chapters in Abeokuta, Ikorodu, Satellite and Festac Town, and United States of America, with a spirit of helping the vulnerable in their society. Chief Mrs. Aderonke Olowoporoku Iyola maintained that the utmost aim of the club is to raise leaders that will impact the world around them. She noted that the 2025 Elegant Lady Year commenced with a visit to the motherless babies' homes, free medical outreach, a visit to Olumo Rock. Appreciating the Alake and paramount ruler of Egbaland, Oba Adedotun Aremu Gbadebo, for his fatherly role. In his remarks, Oba Mukaila Salako, who represented the Alake of Egbaland, tasked members to love one another, stressing that the society would be better when all and sundry are given equal opportunities. In a welcome address, the coordinator of Ogun State Chapter, Ms. Odranyo Akeju, appreciated the guests and appealed to the members to continually show love and be good ambassadors of the club at all times. The high point of the event was induction of patrons and matrons of the club. The Minister of State for Health, Dr. Ishaq Salako, has assured Nigerians of improved health welfareism through the launching of the presidential initiative on unlocking value chain on health sector to ensure availability of drugs and medical devices for the treatment of common diseases. Ayodeji Tomori Oluwumi, while x-raying the causes, symptoms and preventive measures against diabetes, reports that the Minister of State for Health, Dr. Ishaq Salako, also emphasized the importance of developing traditional medicine for our collaborative efforts to tackle the menace of diabetes and its negative...
Diabetes is a chronic condition that occurs when the body cannot effectively use insulin, the hormone responsible for regulating blood sugar levels. If not properly managed, diabetes can lead to severe complications, including heart disease, kidney failure, and nerve damage.
There are many types of diabetes in those with type 1 diabetes. That organ is no longer producing that hormone called insulin because the body's immune system sees that pancreas as if it's a foreign body. It attacks it, destroys it. But the more common type of diabetes, we call it type 2 diabetes. In these people, they still produce insulin, but that insulin is no longer effective. We may see diabetes in pregnant women too. We call this gestational diabetes. Develops during pregnancy, but once the woman delivers, within weeks, that blood sugar normalizes.
We usually say type 2 is hereditary, even though for type 1 also, it can also run in families. But when you talk about, hereditary pattern, you want to talk more of type 2.
Recent studies highlight the alarming rise in diabetes cases, affecting millions globally and posing significant health challenges.
There are three key things in managing diabetes. First is diet. We need to reduce the quantum of food that such a person eats generally or at a sitting. We prefer smaller quantities many times a day rather than three, large meals.
And then taking their medications regularly. Of course, as they come for regular clinic visits, the medications can be reviewed. And also exercise is very important. So diet, medications, exercise, these are three key things.
In response to this growing concern, Nigeria's Minister of State for Health, Dr. Isiaq Salako, stressed the importance of preventive measures and healthier lifestyle choices during a recent event.
I can tell you that the health sector renewal initiative of the present administration led by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has fashioned out ways and strategies to tackle these challenges head on. First is to ensure that we tackle it at the preventive level. We are also going to ensure that those who have the disease, we are able to support the treatment. The President has launched a presidential initiative on unlocking the value chain in the health sector. And the whole essence of that is to ensure that drugs are made available to our people. Medical devices are made available so that we can treat common diseases and illnesses like diabetes. Again, we are also going to put a lot of emphasis on developing our own traditional medicine to the extent that doctors can have comfort, can be comfortable, can be confident in prescribing traditional medicine for some of his illness.
Dr. Salako reaffirmed the government's commitment to raising awareness, implementing prevention initiatives, and providing necessary support for those living with diabetes. He called on Nigerians to adopt healthier habits and collaborate in efforts to minimize the impact of the disease. Ayodeji Tomori Olumi, OGTV News.
That special report on diabetes leads us to the business segment of the news.
Let me ask you a question. What's holding you back? Is it the pressure of your job, the demands of your education, or your ability to connect with the world? Is it the access to the right information? Are you lost? Is it your location, or where you live, or how far you are away from the opportunities? Maybe it's your language, your culture, or your traditions. Again, I ask you, what's holding you back?
Unlimited data from Airtel 5G Smart Connect. Whoever, wherever you are, stay connected. Stay limitless. Airtel, a reason to imagine.
You're welcome to the business segment of the news. The Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment has announced plans to conduct a nationwide census of micro, small and medium enterprises in 2025 as part of its economic growth and industrial transformation on strategy. The Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Dr. Jumoke Odunwole, revealed this in the FMITI 2025 Outlook document, which outlined the ministry's key priorities for the new year. Ujuwali, along with the Minister of State for Industry, Senator John Eno, described the census as a critical step towards conducting a nationwide census to establish a precise, data-driven roadmap for empowering MSMEs. Uduwole described 2025 as a pivotal year for the country's economic diversification effort, promising measurable impact through policy reforms and strategic initiatives. The federal government has said that about $700 million in investment was made in compressed natural gas and electric vehicles last year. The special advisor on energy to President Bola Tinubu, Oluve Hedgen said this was made possible by the various incentives announced by the president to support investment in electric mobility and midstream and downstream infrastructure to increase the penetration of liquefied petroleum gas, compressed natural gas, and mini liquefied natural gas. In a report, the Hedgen expressed satisfaction, saying Tinubu's energy sector reforms are prompting oil companies to take a second look at Nigeria. According to her, Tinubu's vision is to ensure Nigeria has abundant energy in all forms and must ensure that every policy and regulation is designed to unlock investment that deliver this energy as affordable and sustainable as possible for domestic use and export. And now to the telecommunications sector. The mobile network operators, including MTN and Airtel, will stop providing dedicated text messaging services to banks unless the lenders settle the outstanding debts to the telcos by the close of business. The disconnection of the unstructured supplementary service data service, which impacts mobile banking services used by millions of Nigerians, follows an order from the Nigerian Communications Commission telecom regulator issued on January 15, 2025. Under the directive, 9 banks were warned to clear their debts by January 27, 2025, or risk losing access to their USSD codes, a vital service enabling customers to conduct banking transactions without internet access. While some banks have made payments in line with directives from the NCC and the Central Bank of Nigeria, operators say a few remain non-compliant. And to the electricity sector, the Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company is under fire for raising its minimum energy credit purchase requirement for Band A customers to 5,000 naira. The DISCO also capped the minimum energy credit for customers on other bands at 2,000 naira, sparking outrage and condemnation from various consumer groups. It was reported that before now, customers were allowed to purchase energy credit of any amount, and these still operate in other DISCO except the IBEDC. The spokesperson of the Ibadan DISCO, Busola Mitunwashe, said this new policy was to curb energy theft, but she did not give further details about how this will be achieved. And on the global scene, Asian market mostly fell Monday on fresh trade fears after Donald Trump's threat to impose huge tariffs on Colombia in retaliation for its refusal to accept deportation flight from the United States. Traders were also assessing the impact of a new, cheaper Chinese generative AI program amid claims it can outperform big-name rivals and worries that a recent surge in the sector may be called into question. Equities enjoyed a healthy run-up last week on the hope that Trump 2.0 would take a less hardball approach to global trade as he held off imposing stiff levies on China and other partners immediately on taking office, as he warned he would. His comment that he would rather not hit Beijing and a signal of openness to a trade deal added to the optimistic tone. And that's it on the business segment of the news. Back to Mojisola for the others.
Thank you, Simet. It's time for foreign news. Hundreds of thousands of displaced Palestinians in Gaza eagerly crossed the Israeli militarized Netzarim corridor and returned to destroyed homes in the north of the Strip for the first time since the devastating war began. Let's join Olayemi Takuro for more details on the foreign scene.
A nationwide immigration crackdown resulted in the arrest of 956 people, the most since Donald Trump returned